Hey everybody, Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures.
Hi!
We've got a little bit more work done, haven't we, dear?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's starting to look like a kitchen.
Starting to look more like a kitchen. Isn't that awesome?
Yes,
Isn't that
it is.
awesome?
Yes, it is.
And we thought we'd give you a brief update right quick, and then we're going to take you through what we're getting ready to do, and we'll film a little bit of that and show you the finished product, right?
Sounds wonderful.
All righty. But anyway, show you here right quick. We finally got the countertops cut in, as you can see right there. And that was fun, cutting those in. Well, it wasn't too bad, was it?
Well, not
No.
after you made a pattern.
Right, right. And that's what we did. We made a pattern. And first we made the pattern to fit this side over here, to follow the contour of the V right here. And then, of course, it had to come out perfect where it fit the upright next to the fridge over here. And it took me a while to get it all traced off and everything, but the pattern worked out just fine. And then, lo and behold, we were hoping that we could just flip it over and take it over here, and it worked over here as well.
Wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. So this is how the countertops will be. Now Deb is planning on doing the marbleizing thing,
Yes.
like she did on the red trailer that we had. So these countertops will be marbleized,
And maybe the backsplash.
and we're still talking about that.
Yes,
but
we are.
we haven't, and it's going to be a little bit before we get to that point. So we'll discuss that at a later date. Now the sink will be right here, and it's a big sink.
It's
Big sink.
33 by 22.
33 by 22. Yeah, it's going to fill pretty much this whole area here. Now, we do want to point out, this is pretty much where the toaster oven and the microwave will go, but they will not sit on the countertop. I'm going to build shelves where they'll be kind of centered in here, and yes, we can reach them. We've already experimented with that, but they will be sitting on their own individual shelves up off of the counter on both sides, so that we'll have full use of the counter space. You know, here especially, this will be a full counter space here, of course, and then there will be a small area right here. But our plan is hoping that we can, which I think we can go ahead and get these set up high enough so that the coffee pot would still slide up underneath right here. So that is our plan on that. What else, dear? Did I miss something?
No, we're just, trying to make it as usable as possible with
Right.
the amount of space that we have. And we're still working on a place to sit and eat. We kind of figured that one out.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that at a later date. Now what we're fixing to do here in a little bit, this is all pretty much mocked up. Nothing is secured. I mean, it's all kind of screwed together, but just a little bit of security here and there, not the way I would normally do it.
No.
Deb always tells me, and I have close friends that tell me that I always over-engineer everything. But, and yes, when we get done, this will be over-engineered as well.
I'm sure. I never doubted it.
But what we're getting ready to do right now, we're going to do the final trimming on these panels here, how they come down. I'm going to go ahead and mark exactly how I want the height of reveal that I want here, and also the amount of reveal that I want coming down the face of the cabinet right here, and of course the same thing over here. And on the fridge, these side panels that are on the fridge, what we're going to be doing, taking them off here in a little bit, we're going to let this be full right here until it gets right in this ballpark right in here. Then it's going to taper back and go down to the top of the cabinet down here, and then we will mark the amount of reveal we want on top for the top of the countertop right here. This will allow the fridge to breathe better. And underneath, where you can't see, back in there, I'm going to cut, and it's kind of dark back in there, but I'm going to go ahead and cut some breathing vents down there so there'll be better circulation for the fridge. So that's what we're getting ready to do. We're going to take everything apart and trim it all down.
Sand it.
Sand it.
And
stain it. We compromised on the, I like the wood grain look, and Deb wanted a little bit of color, and then we had suggestions from a lot of our viewers. So we've decided on a stain, but we're going to put it on light enough so that the grain will still show through, but we'll still have the color.
There you are.
There you are. And you will see it at the end of the video.
We hope.
Well, yeah, we hope. So anyway, we've got a lot of work to do. We're going to set up and go ahead. We're going to go ahead and start taking all this apart. We're going to trim it down. We're going to sand it. We're going to stain it. And we're going to put it all back together.
Hopefully.
And today is Wednesday, and we hope to have this all done by Thursday afternoon and back together, because I want to be able to just lay here or sit here and look at this all weekend.
There you go.
And that helps me figure out what I want to do next.
What's next?
Exactly. So hang on, we'll be right back. Well, we actually got that done a little faster than we thought we would.
Yeah, everything went smooth.
Yeah. Well, not perfectly smooth, but smoother than it had been in the past.
Right.
Yeah. And got it all back together and
sort of set up.
Yeah, sort of set up. We was able to make breakfast this morning.
Yeah,
such as it was. Yeah. But I guess do we go ahead and reveal what we did?
You might as well get it over with.
And get it over with. All right. Well, let me turn this light on here because we don't have much. It's a cloudy day today.
Not much light yet.
No, not much light yet. And there you go, folks. What we did, we stained this. What's this color called that we stained the end caps with?
Weathered gray.
Weathered gray. You've been breathing sawdust, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that sanding you did yesterday. And what we found when we did the sample, before we actually applied it, and this is just the very next day after we applied it, but what we found as we watched the sample over a period of 2 or 3 days, it actually turned a little bit lighter, the stain did, over 2 or 3 days.
Yes, right. But it was warm yesterday when I was applying it, so it was drying pretty quickly. Yeah,
but it still took a while, even on the sample, when you did the sample on the small piece. It was warm that day as well. And it dried really quick, but then the color started to lighten as we washed it day after day. And eventually we will do poly on this.
Polyacrylic.
Polyacrylic, and that'll make it pop. but we're going to give it a few days until it, reaches its true shade, I should say, and then we'll take it from there. Is that what you're thinking?
I just know I don't have time to do it for a few days.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It has nothing to do with the other.
Yeah, we have responsibilities we have to start taking care of here pretty quick. But let me go over a couple things. First thing I want to talk about, and Deb, you can follow me down here. I know that we had talked about trimming these back, and revealing a little bit more. But then we had suggestions from several folks, and we thought we looked at everything. Some folks said, if you trim it back the way you're thinking, you will lose some storage space, and that is true. Wouldn't you say, babe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is wide enough that I can, if I choose, I haven't made up my mind yet, but I can attach these. I get these at Walmart in the craft department, and they work great for holding, whatever you need to hold up here.
Exactly.
And those, by leaving it the full width, it made it more usable. Or I can put them this way. We just have not made that decision
Yeah, we have
yet.
lots of options here.
Right.
And another thing, too, on this side, of course, and this is, of course, where you enter the side door here. On this side, we'll be installing hooks to hang different things like keys and
I like a place to hang my
all
keys.
sorts of things like that, where they're easy to get to.
Yes.
Now, we did go ahead and dress up the edges here. We did a rounded inside corner there. Eventually, this will do a little touch up here. This will not be squared, but I'm waiting on that because I will be putting a piece of trim along the leading edge of the countertop on down, and it will have a rounded over edge, and I want to hand sand it and follow the contour of that right there, and then we'll have to touch it up with the stain there. And of course, this will all be done before we poly it. And the same thing over here. There will be a piece of trim that runs along the leading edge of the countertop right here, and it too will have a rounded over edge, and then we'll follow the contour right here, and it will follow on around over here. Now, a lot of folks have been asking us, what are we going to do with these areas on either side of the fridge down below? And Deb, would you like to share some thoughts on that?
Well, we've got a huge corner that's not really easily accessible, but we have found some small Rubbermaid, no, not Rubbermaid, I don't know.
Yeah, we got them at Home
containers.
Depot. Yeah, small totes.
That we can put stuff in and store it back in there, leaving this area open for whatever. One section will be probably Delilah's food bowl, water bowl, that type of thing. The other side, we're thinking about a trash can. When we were checking out at Home Depot yesterday, or the day before, whatever day we was there was a gentleman checking out with a narrow trash can. It's like, oh my gosh, that's maybe the size I need.
Yeah, it looked like it would fit perfect in there. So there's a multitude of options for this area.
Yes.
And we will be exploring those different options.
It will all be used.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, keep in mind what Deb's going to do with the countertop. She's going to do this white marbleizing thing like she did on the
Only
on the
this
red
time
trailer.
it'll just be gray and silver. It won't have the blue, of course.
Okay. So there'll be a white background,
Yes.
and then a marble look with a mixtures of gray and silver.
Yes.
Right, which will kind of enhance the colors of the stain that we put on the end caps here.
Yes.
And of course, this will all be white everywhere else, and then when we do our drawer fronts and everything, that'll be white as well on that. So that's our plan there. Now, what we did do here, we did trim it back here where the fridge fits in there. And I did that for a multitude of reasons. Now, we will have a shelf up here eventually, and in a video down the line, I will show everybody how we are going to secure the refrigerator by attaching it along with this shelf in here. But that'll be something down the line that we'll show you how we do that, which will be a similar as to how we did it in the red trailer. Never once had an issue with the refrigerator trying to come out of its spot. But yeah, I trimmed that back to give it more airflow right there. Plus, I just like the way, or we like the way, that it showcases the fridge even more. We are into the retro look, and of course these appliances are the retro look. We're into those kind of things, so that's one reason why we went the way we went. What I also did, because some folks had expressed concern, of course we planned on doing this all along. I did cut breathing vents back here on the back side so that air could circulate in behind the refrigerator easily there. Now the refrigerator is not up against the wall in the back. We also put a board down on the floor as a stop, so we'd be sure and have it, 2 or 3 inches out from the wall at the back. And then of course you have the depth of the V that goes beyond that. So the refrigerator is going to breathe. Everything's going to be fine with the fridge. There's nothing to be concerned about there. Now also keep in mind, as we mentioned when we started the video, that these appliances, this one and this one over here, will be sitting on their own individual shelves up higher. We're going to mount them pretty much where the bottom of them is pretty much Deb's chin height, because I can bend down if I need to see what we're doing if I'm utilizing these appliances. But we're basically going to set them up where they're eye level for Deb, and yes, they will be easy to access. There's no trouble at all reaching in there to get to them, and they will be kind of centered on these openings, so there'll be plenty of clearance between them and the fridge and plenty of clearance between them and the wall. And they will be an open shelf, not enclosed, so that these things can breathe properly. Anything else we need to talk about?
Nope. The next project will be hopefully our sink.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Of course, the sink will go here. So the very next thing we're going to be doing will be, cutting out the hole for the sink, figuring out my drain line so it can drain down into the gray water tank, which is right under there. And we got to make sure that we have enough slope, which according to my calculations we do.
Yes.
To have enough slope for it to drain on down into the gray water tank. But if it doesn't, we have a solution. We can utilize another sump pump if we need to. And we have plenty of power available to run another sump pump. So that is not going to be an issue. Anyway, back up here. Give you one more look at this before we go. I don't know. It might be an optical delusion.
Delusion? Seems wider delusion. Now.
Yeah, it does seem wider now. The addition of this
darker color, and we really thought it would make it look a little smaller.
Right, but we were mentioning that last night. We just laid on the bed and just stared at it for a long time and said, is it me, or does it actually look larger? Does it actually make the area look wider and bigger?
It's something.
Yeah, something. Anyway, I'm going to turn this light off because I'm going to swing it around to us, and we don't need it for us. And there's a shot. Now, one thing I do need to mention before we go, and that's without the light on the camera there, and you're looking at it now. Today is a semi-cloudy day. Right now, we only have 3 lights in this entire trailer, and they're a very low-yield bulb in each one of these lights. When we get done, we're also going to have 2 more windows. We'll have a window in this door here, and we'll have a window down there at that door back there at the back. So there'll be 2 more windows that we'll be adding. In addition to that, we're going to have 14 LED lights throughout the trailer.
Doubles. We will have light.
Yeah. I think in the red trailer we had 7 lights.
I believe so.
Yeah.
In this one, I'm going to have 2 above the bar, this cabinet area, 1 in the V, 1 in this V, 1 above the sink, 2 above the couch, 2 above the bed.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have lights everywhere, all over the place. I should have been trying to show those while you were talking about them.
That's all right.
Yeah. But the kitchen will be well lit up, and of course we're going to have lots of lights throughout the trailer. All right, well, we're going to let you go, folks. Hope you found this interesting, and follow along with us. We've still got lots to show you, obviously.
A lot more to do.
Yeah, won't be too long. We'll be running electrical. Well, first, we're going to get a sink.
Yes, the sink is kind of,
Yeah.
it would be nice to return to, some type of cooking and cleaning.
But we're getting there, slowly but surely, and the things are happening, and this is the part where we want to really make it pop, as far as fit and trim is concerned. So, here we go. All right, y'all take care. This is Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures, and as we always say, we're not camping.
We're living.
Y'all get out there and do some living yourself, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye.